This is your wake up call, live from the front lines. That frantic message about a sick grandmother who needs medicine right now? Let's be clear, that isn't a family crisis. It's a stress test on your wallet. They are probing for weakness, looking for an emotional entry point to your bank account. I'm about to hand you their 5 most used plays so you can spot them, shut them down, and stop being the unofficial pension plan for an entire village. Pay close attention because your financial survival depends on what you learn next. You're a good man, I see you. Maybe you're in your late 30s, maybe you're past 60. You're likely recovering from a divorce that took half of everything, or just tired of the empty silence in a house you worked your whole life to build. You have a good heart and limited time, so you came here looking for connection, for a woman who still values a provider. But you've unknowingly sat down at a poker table where you're not just a player, you're the prize. Every interaction is a new hand. You've been warned, but you need to hear it again. This is not a game for the soft hearted. Mistakes here are expensive, and they cost more than just money. They cost you your self respect, your authority, your peace of mind. Every emergency you fund isn't an act of charity, it's a signal that your fences are low and your gates are wide open. You are actively teaching her, and by extension, her entire network, exactly how to play you. You're losing control one small favor at a time. Think of the dating scene here as a high stakes poker game where the buy in is your hope. You came looking for a partner, but you found a table of professionals who can smell desperation like sharks smell blood in the water. That sweet smile is a poker face. That sob story is a carefully calculated bet, placed to see if you'll panic and go all in with your wallet. They are testing your resolve, checking to see if you're a tourist or a professional. It's you against the world. And at this table, there are no rebuys. Every chip you lose is gone forever. I'm not just talking about your money, I'm talking about your power. Once you pay to solve a problem, you are no longer seen as a partner, you are seen as a resource. You become the easy mark, the shortcut, the path of least resistance. You're not building a relationship on respect, you're financing a dependency that will bleed you dry emotionally and financially, and there is no end in sight. So before I lay out the 5 deadliest plays they will run on you, the ones designed to gut your savings and your dignity, you have to make a choice. You have to decide what game you are truly here to play, because you cannot play both. This is your final warning before the cards are dealt and the real betting begins. I need you to ask yourself right now with brutal honesty, are you looking for love? Are you looking for sex? Or are you looking for survival? Alright, you made your choice, or you think you have. Now we get to the map of the battlefield. The first mistake you're making is thinking you're the only soldier on the ground. Look around the bar. See that sad-looking Australian buying rounds for a girl and her 5 cousins? He's your competition. But he's also a walking landmine detector. Every stupid mistake he makes, every sob story he funds, it maps the terrain for you, if you are smart enough to watch and learn instead of joining him in the blast crater. Here's their opening ambush, the one they use to test your flank. Let's call it the provincial hospital hustle. A text arrives, frantic, late at night. Lola is sick in a remote province. The hospital is demanding a deposit, now. It sounds so real, so urgent. You send the money feeling like a hero. A week later, her brother has dengue. You see? You didn't save a life. You just showed them where the supply depot is, and now they have the coordinates. You've just painted a target on your own back. Next, they probe your defenses from another angle, attacking your values. This is the sudden tuition mandate. Her younger sister is about to be kicked out of university for a fee that's due tomorrow. It pulls at your belief in education, in giving someone a better future. I watched a man, a retired engineer from California, pay for 3 straight semesters. He later found out the sister wasn't even enrolled. She was using his education fund to finance her own boyfriend's motorcycle. He wasn't a benefactor, he was a joke. Then comes the move that tests your need for control, the lost device reset. Suddenly, her phone is stolen or broken, the one you bought. The line goes dead. You feel that knot in your stomach? That's anxiety, and it's a weapon they are using against you. They know you need that communication link. When you rush to send money for a new one, an upgraded one, of course, you aren't restoring contact. You are paying a ransom for your own peace of mind, teaching her that breaking the line gets her a reward. These are just the opening shots, the basic reconnaissance plays to see if you're a soft target. Losing a few $100s here, a bit of face there, it's irritating, but it's manageable. It's the cost of learning the field. But the next play, the one that uses your own desire to be a good man against you, that's where you don't just lose money, you lose your good name. And believe me, that's still just the beginning of how deep this goes. And now we get to the heart of it, the plays that aren't just about money, but about your soul. After a storm, the message arrives. The typhoon tax. The family home in the province is damaged. It feels real. You saw the disaster on the news. This isn't a probe, it's a carefully baited hook disguised as an act of God. A true partner shelters your resources. This is a Venus flytrap, using the rain to trigger the mechanism. They are betting your savior complex is stronger than your common sense. Are you a partner or a disaster relief agency? You think paying is a noble act? You're wrong. You're setting a new, disastrous precedent. You've just made yourself personally responsible for the weather. Every time a storm cloud forms over the archipelago, you'll feel that knot of anxiety, wondering what the bill will be this time. You're not fixing a roof, you are funding a cycle of dependency where you are the first and only line of defense against nature itself. This isn't charity, it's you paying to feel needed, and they are cashing the check on your emotional weakness. So let me ask you, are you the captain of your ship or just a passenger in someone else's taxi? A taxi driver takes you where he wants on the route he chooses, and you just pay the fare. The captain sets the destination. He has a map. He has a mission. He doesn't abandon the course every time a wave hits the hull. By reacting to every emergency, you're letting her drive. You're not building a relationship. You're just a tourist paying for a ride that goes nowhere but circles back to your wallet. Then comes the final play, the one designed to break you, the phantom debt payoff. Her father or brother owes a dangerous man money, and his life is at stake. The threat is real, the fear is palpable, and you are positioned as the only hero who can step in. This is the all-in bet. They are putting the life and death card on the table, gambling that your instinct to protect a woman and her family will override every logical alarm bell screaming in your head. This isn't about help. It's a test of your absolute limit. If you pay this, it's over. You have communicated that you are an infinite resource, and there is no line you will not cross, no amount you will not pay. You're not her partner anymore. You're her family's personal treasury, their get out of jail free card for every bad decision they ever make. But what if I told you that dodging these plays isn't how you win? That's just survival. The real game, the one where you take permanent control, begins when you finally stop negotiating with hope. Stop dodging. Stop reacting. You have spent enough time playing defense. From this moment on, you are not a passenger in a taxi anymore. You are the captain in the cockpit. Think of your relationship as an aircraft on a runway. It does not get cleared for takeoff until you run the checklist. Every request, every sob story, every crisis is now just an item on that list. If even one check fails, the flight is cancelled. No emotional overrides. You either follow the procedure or you crash. It is that simple. First on the checklist, the want versus need filter. This is a cold binary assessment. Is this request for immediate survival or for a lifestyle upgrade? Medicine for a dying grandmother is a need. A new laptop because her cousin needs one for school is a want. You must strip the frantic emotion and the guilt trip packaging away and see the request for what it truly is. Is this a life raft or is it a ticket to a luxury cruise? Your wallet depends on you knowing the difference instantly. Next, you implement the 24-hour rule. No matter how urgent the text, your new standard response to any financial request is, "That sounds stressful. Let me think about it and I will get back to you tomorrow." This is your weapon against manufactured urgency. Real emergencies are still emergencies 24 hours later. Fake ones, however, tend to magically resolve themselves when immediate cash isn't an option. This pause gives you back control over the timeline. You are not an ATM that dispenses cash on demand. You are a man who makes deliberate decisions. If the request fails the filter or doesn't survive the 24-hour pause, you move to the final protocol, the hard no. This isn't a negotiation, it's a statement of fact. It's not, "I don't think I can right now." It's, "That is a family matter that you will have to handle." You offer no excuses because your policies require no justification. You are not being cruel, you are being clear. The flight is cancelled. You are the pilot, and you do not fly an unsafe aircraft. End of discussion. This framework, filter, pause, decide, is your new operating system. It is the pre flight checklist that keeps you from being flown directly into a mountain. You must run every single request through this system with zero exceptions. The sick relatives, the tuition fees, the broken phones, all of it. This is how you stop being a resource and start being a partner. So write this down, burn it into your brain, because in the next act, we are taking this from the classroom to live execution in the field. Now the game speeds up. Forget poker, this is ping pong, and you're standing at the table. Your opponent isn't just returning the ball, she's serving smashes to your weak side, aiming for where you're off balance. The phone call about tuition comes right as another cousin has a medical emergency. It's a rapid fire attack designed to make you react on pure instinct. But the captain doesn't react. He's already in position. He knows where the ball is going before it even leaves her paddle, because he's seen the serve 100 times before. So here it comes. You're having a good conversation. The connection feels real for the first time in weeks, and then the 1-2 punch lands. "Babe, I miss your voice so much," followed by, "My landlord is threatening to kick us out over a late payment." The affection is the setup, the crisis is the point. The old you would panic, desperate to keep the good feeling going. But the captain applies the filter. The flight is not cleared for takeoff. Your warm feeling is not an emergency that requires his funding. Then comes the real test, the championship match. She's in your apartment, looking incredible, and her hand is on your thigh. The air is thick. She leans in and whispers, "I want to be with you, but I can't relax. My mother's medicine. If you could just handle it, I could finally be free to focus only on you." This is the ultimate gambit, sex for solvency. But you see the phantom debt disguised as intimacy. You apply the hard no, even as your body screams yes. The flight is grounded. The immediate result? Silence. A storm of it. She might get cold, angry, or even cry. This is the final desperate volley to see if you will break. But you hold your ground. And then, something incredible happens. The storm passes. She looks at you differently. You are no longer the walking wallet, the easy mark. You are the man with the fence, the captain who owns his ship. You didn't just avoid a loss, you won a new kind of respect, the only kind that actually matters. The game changes because you finally understood the ultimate rule of this table. Every frantic request, every sob story, it isn't a cry for help. It is a serve, and you are being tested on your return. They are checking to see if you will chase the ball or if you will stand your ground, ready. This forces the confrontation, and it reveals the final brutal law of financial physics in this world. And if you learn nothing else from me, you will learn this one thing before we are done here. So here is the brutal law you must now live by. They were never testing your generosity, they were mapping the height of your fences. You are the bee, and your resources are your power. You have been trained to spill it all on the first flower that looks desperate. But a healthy flower doesn't drain the bee, it offers value that invites a willing exchange. Stop trying to pollinate Venus flytraps. The cost of entry to your life is her stability, not her sob story. This is the only transaction that matters. Remember this every time your phone buzzes with a new crisis. A man without a strong fence is not a generous partner. He's a public park, open to everyone and respected by no one. Your value is not in your willingness to solve her problems. Your value is your stability, your mission, the fact that your ship is weatherproof before she even comes aboard. You are the destination, not the ride. Generosity is what you choose to share from your abundance, not what she extracts from your weakness and calls love. You are now armed. But out there, right now, another man is about to wire his rent money for a phantom medical bill. Your mission does not end here. If you have had one of these plays run on you, drop the number of the rule in the comments below. Warn the reinforcements. For those ready to leave the amateur leagues for good, support this war of information. Fund the mission with a super thanks or through the PayPal link in the description. Your contribution keeps this channel on the front lines. Your next 24 hours are the test. You will get a message. You will face a play. Your assignment is to hold the line using the framework I gave you. No exceptions. This is the only way to find out if you are dealing with a partner or a parasite. Your answer will define the rest of your life here. This has been your final warning. Now go out there and remember, the only one who gets to drain you is you. Stay sovereign. End of transmission.